How Mitakuyepi. Hello, everyone. This is a question and answer video number 2. And I'm going to go to the next question that was on the list, that was on the page where I announced I would be doing this. And the next question is from the YouTube name says, One Horse Open Sleigh. And they have sleigh, not like the sled you ride in. Yeah, so okay. So the question is, well, they make a couple of comments about my Wichocha Otechike book. And the question is, I'll just read it from the screen. My computer is right there, my monitor. So I will read it and then I'll do my best to answer it. This is what the person says. My question would be that I would like to know more about plant spirits. They have really been speaking to me lately. Okay, it's a good question. In Lakota, we have this dream society called the Bear Dreamers. And when people, I should say, when certain people dream of a certain bear and that this bear is doing something, it depends on what that activity is in the dream. If a person receives a dream like that, then the protocol is to talk to either a medicine person or a holy person and describe the dream. Because when you are describing the dream, it's like you're bringing the dream into our conscious reality. And a holy person or a medicine person will recognize certain things about that dream that will tell him or her that possibly you are a bear dreamer. So just because you dream about a bear does not mean you're a bear dreamer. Yeah, that bear has to be doing a certain thing, and this is the knowledge of the holy people and some medicine people. There's a certain dream protocol that happens concerning that. And one thing I want to say really quick is that just because your father or mother is a medicine person does not mean that you will be one. Because there's a lot of misunderstanding about that, where you have these medicine men today who are very questionable, and after they pass on, then their son says, yeah, my father was one, so now I'm one. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's not a thing you pass down to the next generation. It doesn't work like that. It comes in a vision or a very special dream. So that's why this is really important to say, because of the misinformation that's going on around out there in the internet. And well, it's been happening since before there was an internet, where sons of medicine people were saying that, because their father was one, that they are one too. And that's not how it works. That's not following Lakota tradition at all. So just wanted to put that little disclaimer in there. Okay, so when a person becomes a bear dreamer, then they start to receive knowledge through several ways. Possibly through the bear that they had a vision or dream about, or through a more experienced medicine person who may be teaching them things to help them begin their life working with plants. And Lakota tradition, the star knowledge stories say there is a difference between a holy person and a medicine person. A holy person can be a medicine person as well, but not the other way around. Okay? When a person is a medicine person, that does not mean they can be a holy person. See, there's these rules that exist, and it's according to natural law. Holy people communicate with entities that we don't see, but they are here. They've been here ever since the earth was here. Medicine people are concerned with the plants and communicating with them and receiving information from them on how to use them for treatments for various illnesses. That's how the tradition works. Now, plants, they are very intelligent. They communicate with each other. They communicate with animals. And they communicate to us too. And they also have senses of smell too. This is a really interesting thing that, for example, when something is happening to a certain tree, it can emit a certain odor. Plants are this way too, where they emit a certain odor and it sends a signal to other plants that here comes a predator or something like that. And they protect each other too. This is a really interesting thing. Plants are people. They are a nation too. Yeah? They communicate in their own way. They have their own way of communicating. They have emotions. Everything that we have, they have it too. They know a lot of things. They're very intelligent people. I like to refer to them as people. And in one video, I told a story about one of my experiences with a plant, and I would like to share this with you again, but in a really short version. In my past, I just moved into this new apartment, and there was renovation happening, and there were workers there that were renovating the whole place because it was a really old building. I was planning to move into this apartment, and there was a plant there from the previous owners, and the previous owners were an old couple, and one had passed on, and the other person was bedridden, so the partner couldn't stay there. So their family came and got them, and now this apartment was open. And so I was lucky enough to be able to move into this building, this apartment. It was a really nice one, but very old, and it really needed renovation. So I think it was about a month that it took where they renovated things. They rebuilt a lot of things in there, but it was really nice. But they left behind this plant, and it was, I don't know the name of the plant. It's kind of like a palm, kind of a tree like, and a small one. And it looked like it was ready to give up the ghost. These people that lived there, both of them were really, really strong chain smokers. So when you walked into this place, oh man, you had to, put something over your nose, because it's just horribly, cigarette smoke is just strong. It was in everything. It was even in the wallpaper. They had to take it off and put new wallpaper up there. That's how strong it was. And this poor plant was breathing in all that smoke all those years. And it was barely hanging in there. And the workers were going to throw it out. And I said, no, I want to keep it. And I knew somebody who was good with plants, and they helped me gave me information on what to do and how to take care of it. And when the time came for me to move in, I took care of this plant, and it was slowly getting better. Yeah, I would talk to it every day and feed it like it was according to the instructions I received from my friend who was expert with plants. And yeah, after after a while, it started to straighten up. Yeah, because before it was all hunched over, just struggling to look for sunshine. It was placed in a room where the sun never came on that side. Yeah, so it was looking for sunlight. And I had it on the other side of the building where the sun shined through, and it seemed to be joyful. Yeah, and it still was not growing straight like normal ones do, but it was coming back to life, and it was so wonderful, and that was with me for many years, about 10 years. And then I went through this difficulty, and it was really strange, because strange in a good way, because this plant, it seemed to, I don't know, I felt it was communicating to me, and it was like trying to help me, trying to support me in that difficult time. And I thought about that, and I thought, wow, how cool is that, because I was able to save it, and now it's saving me. It was like that was my one of my best friends there. And I said in this video, when I told the story, I said that how people will say about their dogs or cats, and how that was their best friend. And for me, it was a plant. Why not? They're people too. And this really taught me something about how we are all connected, and that when we nurture each other, we help each other through difficult times. And it was so beautiful. It was a wonderful, wonderful plant, and it lived a long life until it was time for it to move on. And they have spirits too. Yeah, all life does. Animals have spirits. The plants do too. Our grandmother Earth is a spirit too. Everything that's physical has a soul to it. And the spirits of the plants, they have a lot of knowledge, yeah, because they see the world in a different way than we do. They are really living with the laws of nature. They're more in tune with the natural laws than we are. So they are able to communicate to us and help us and teach us. And we have to do our part, though, yeah, that we have to open ourselves to them. And how do we do that? Well, we have to be striving for peace within our lives. We have to be doing the best that we can and taking care of our total self. That's body, mind, emotions, and spiritually. Because these four parts connect to each other. And where they connect is inside of you, yeah, in your sacred center. Or some people will call this the seventh direction. The first direction being west, and then north, and then east, and then south, and above. The Wakantanka, above. This is not God. This is an organization of entities, very sacred. And then below us, the grandmother Earth. And we are in the middle of all that. And where the four parts of ourself connect, this is the seventh direction. We all have it. The plants have it too. They have the seventh direction. The animals have it too. This is how we connect to each other. So, when we take care of ourselves as best as we can, we open a channel up, and now we're able to receive their communication. And how do we understand that communication? That's where the Bear Dreamer Society comes into play. Bears are very connected. They have a very special relationship to plants. And this is why in our tradition, when you have that special dream or vision of a bear and it's doing something, it has to do something. And it depends on what that activity is. That will tell a person whether or not they are a bear dreamer. And if they are this way, then they will receive instruction through that bear. Now that's Lakota tradition, okay? Now, that can apply to anybody because we are ikje, okay? We are humans. Number one, we are ikje. And Lakota is just the category that we're in. But all of us are ikje. And all of us have this opportunity to receive information from the plant. It's not just Lakota people, okay? Because I really don't like hearing when Lakota people will say something like, well, only full-blood Lakota people can do this and blah, 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 blah. That's racist. Yeah, that's a racist thing to say. It doesn't have to do with being Lakota. It has to do with how do you live your life? How do you take care of yourself? How do you communicate? How do you learn from your difficulties? We all have that. We all go through that. We all go through good times and difficult times and interesting times, confusing times, and we all laugh at the same kind of thing. We all get sad at the same kind of thing. A lot of us get scared at the same kind of things, and a lot of us get angry at the same kind of things, and we all bleed red. Yeah, even most plants bleed red too, just like the animals. That's why red is sacred. It does not represent Indians, it represents life, and we are all a part of this together. The word for that is wamakashka. This is everything. And the Christians define that word wamakashka to mean animals and plants. It's not true. The reason why they do that is because in the Bible it says, in the beginning, God created the man to have dominion over the earth, over the plants, over the animals, that which, and man is number one, then woman, and then children, and then animals. And that's not how it is. That's not correct. The nature of things is we are all connected to each other. Nobody's more important than the other. Yeah, but there's intelligence everywhere. And boy, you know what I like is when I go for walks and sometimes you see plants coming up from the sidewalk. It's like, wow, look at how strong that plant is to just come right through and continue to flourish. And plants, all of them have some kind of medicine. Yeah, this is a plant, a medicine plant. It's so powerful. Not even the cement or the pavement could stop it. It just came right through. Why? Because we need it. See, this is another cool thing about plants, and it shows their intelligence, is that plants grow where they're needed because we need their medicine. And it's really interesting how certain things come because people need them. Yeah? The plants come where they are needed. And sometimes it takes a bird or a bee or something to bring that to that area. So you see you have plants and animals working together to bring medicine to where it's needed. For example, we have a tree here and a bird may be someplace else and maybe it got something and brought it maybe here or to someplace where people are, and it drops the whatever that is, pollen or seeds or whatever, and then it grows there. So the plants were working with the animals to come to where their medicine is needed. That is intelligence. See, we could learn a lot from the plants and animals. What do? Close the door. See a homeless person on the street and whatever. And just walk by and, but we don't know their story. Or we see some plants and we don't like the way they look. So we call them weeds and we put chemicals on it and destroy it, and and say, how dare you grow in my garden? When all that time, it's medicine for us to heal. But the thing is, we're connected to them. It's nice to see people help each other. But look at what I just said here with the plants, how they work with animals and bring the medicine to where it's needed. This is, that's beautiful. I think about that and it's so cool, yeah. And like us and animals, when their time is finished, their spirits follow the same path that we follow, this journey of the soul. If you want to know what that is, I can put a link in the description below, because if I tell that, it's like an hour. And I already have a good video on that, so I'll put that in the link. But this journey of the soul, the plants follow the same thing. They go on this as well too. It's so cool. I've never been so close to nature as I am in my life, as I am right now, I mean to say. And I'm very thankful for the plants. It's so interesting. Like I said earlier, they can protect each other. They send warnings to each other, and it's so cool. And they help each other. Yeah. Nearby, there's two trees. They're a brother and sister, and they support each other. And it's so cool to walk by there and stand and silently acknowledge them and give them thanks. And they're really old. They've been there for a long time, and it's amazing. Take some time to take a walk in the nature, yeah? And when you look at something, there's so much special things about every plant, every animal. And there's some difficulties in nature too. Yeah, that's part of life. Sometimes there's a plant or something that will wrap itself around a tree and take its life. That happens. That's showing you difficulty is a part of life. That it's not about being happy. It's about learning from difficulties to enjoy life, to achieve wisdom and knowledge. These are all blessings, so that we can help each other and support one another. And it shows the circle of everything. Yeah? This is what makashka, this is everything. So the plant spirits can be still here too. And they can actually communicate with people through dreams and visions and give information too. And how do we understand it? Like I said before, how you live your life. Yeah, taking care of yourself, your total self. That's where it begins. Yeah, but where it starts is by acknowledging it as a relative. This is Mitakuye, this is my relative. And addressing it, talking to it, and just standing by it. You don't have to hug it, because maybe it doesn't want to be hugged. But just standing by it, maybe it does. Who never knows? They have their personalities too, yeah? Yeah, just acknowledging them and saying, hey, thank you. You know, some of these plants produce air for all of life too, so that we can breathe. And of course, the water is connected to this, but that's another video. We are all connected, and some of these trees are so old, and they communicate under the ground to each other by their roots. And so much cool information is passed on this way. And sometimes there are certain animals that can understand that communication, and then they can bring that communication to people. Like, okay, it's going to be a really difficult winter that's coming. See, the trees know that. The plants know these things before anybody else does. It's wonderful life. Yeah, this Unchimaka and everything on it. And you think about it, all the wonderful things that she gives to us so that we can live. We should thank her too. Talk to her. We have a sacred song, the direction song, that talks about she wants you to talk to her. She's there. She's ready to, she's listening to you. Talk to her. Yeah, and to the plants as well, and animals and everything. And then talk to yourself too, because reality begins within. Yeah, first Lakota Star Knowledge concept. So I think this answers the question I'm looking at again. And yeah, thank you for the question. One horse open sleigh. Thank you for that question. And yeah, live in a way so that you're open to receive information coming to you. I say that to all of you because we all can live like that. Yeah, we have that opportunity to really receive, and then we can send our communication by acknowledging them, thanking them, helping them, especially in this time. As I'm making this video, it is, what is the date? August 1st. And in some parts of the world, it is extremely hot. And there's fires happening, and some places there's floods happening. And I think we all know why. It's because of humans. There's still hope, yeah, that when we acknowledge the natural life in plants and especially plants and animals, and we begin something, yeah, or something is starting to turn, and it's nurturing, yeah, it's nurturing nature, and then it's up to us to do something about it actively with love. That's the most important thing, yeah. Not with yeah, all these cars are driving around putting all this stuff in oxygen, and now I gotta do this. Not like that. Yeah, but with love, because that's what the universe is founded upon. When we take care of ourselves and maintain our seventh direction, as I said earlier, we tune in really good to this frequency of love that is all over the universe. Love includes difficulty, by the way. It's when you learn from it, you receive blessings from it. So difficulty is a part of love as well. So thank you for this question, and I will make another video to answer another question a little bit later. Thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next video. Doksha ake.